Okay, 2025 will be the year you're actually serious in learning French and you will understand everything. You will have proper conversations and all. You're motivated until you hear French people speaking. But it's okay, I have your back. Bonjour tout le monde, I'm Cassie, your French tutor, so you can discover France the French way. And now is the perfect time to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you really want to be able to have proper conversations with French natives. I'm sure you already know, and we talked about it already, that if you struggle to understand French people speaking, it is because they use a lot of contractions, or we use a lot of contractions, and we speak quite fast. Okay, but today I want to explain to you comment these contractions work. So, how do you go from je ne sais pas, je ne sais pas, to je sais pas, je sais pas. And for that, we need to prepare our paper. I'll explain everything. And as always, there is a free PDF available in the description, so you get the lesson, the 10 most common ones, and other examples. Alors, t'es prêt? On y va. One thing I always tell my students is that when they speak French, if it doesn't, roll smoothly on the tongue, if it doesn't feel fluid, then there is probably a mistake somewhere. In French, one big sentence needs to sound like one word with no stops. If not, something is missing or something is wrong. And there is a big reason for that. In French, we hate two vowel sounds following each other. It's actually called un hiatus. And you know what? Before you comment, oh yeah, okay, Cassie, but it is only spoken French and like street French, blah, blah, blah. I've seen that. Note that it is extremely common. It's not about, social origin or whatever. It is actually about efficiency. That's the natural evolution of the language. Sometimes we contract, we drop letters. Happens. Happens in other languages. You'll see, happens in English too. And in this video, I won't be the one giving you examples. We'll actually take examples from videos on the internet. So you see in context with different accents, different people with different social backgrounds. You'll see, it's not only me. So what we call contractions actually have different names in French, and we categorize the different contractions. There are two main ones in spoken French, so for you to actually understand, even though you decide to never use them, you need them to understand people speaking. So that's the purpose here. And these two are la syncope et l'élision. No worries, I'll explain what they are. So let's start with la syncope. La syncope, what is it? It is when we drop a letter or a sound in the middle of a word. And you know how I said it also happens in English? Think about the word madam. Well, I think it is in British English, but still, people will say ma'am sometimes. See that D? Dropped. That is une syncope. And talking about madame, in French we also do that with sir ou monsieur. That becomes monsieur. Monsieur.
Ah, vous avez vu comment elle m'a traité, monsieur?
Another one that I've noticed, and this one mostly depends on the accent, so the Parisian or Parisian suburbs accent, is quelque. Quelque. And I think in a bigger area, so let's say the northern part of France. But for sure in Paris and around Paris we say that a lot. Quelque becomes cake. We drop the L. So, for example, the way to say quelque part will become quelque part. Quelque part. And remember how earlier I told you that it is a matter of efficiency? It is also a matter of, setting a different rhythm, a different pace to what you're talking about, to convey a message differently. And it's really important because I will show you two examples from the same person. Keep in mind, we're from the same region, but this man actually has a PhD in social science.
Menu gastronomique en 6 services, là c'est quelque chose un peu, voilà. Qu'est-ce que c'était? Je me souviens plus. Corruption, quelque chose comme ça, hein, quelque chose comme ça.
See, one person can use one or the other. Depends, fluctuates. Another one that is extremely common is petit, small. we tend to drop the I. Donc, petit.
Alors un petit truc quand même, hein, avant de commencer.
The second contraction is l'élision. And I think that's the one you know, that's the one you've heard about, and it is definitely the most common one in French. L'élision is when we drop the last vowel of a word if the word that follows starts with a vowel. I'm saying a lot vowel, vowel, vowels. What are they? Let's remember. A, E, I, O, U, Y. Y most of the time behaving like a I. So how does it work? For example, you've seen that a lot, I'm sure, with pronouns. If the pronoun ends with the I, donc la lettre E, for example, je, and the verb that follows starts with a vowel, like aimer, the je becomes J apostrophe. J. J'aime. We drop the E, the letter I. That élision is accepted in French grammar. But there is also one that we do in spoken French, so you don't write it, you say it. It is with tu. So let's take the same verb, aimer, to love. Tu aimes becomes t'aimes.
Est-ce que t'aimes mon accent?
Ouais, pas mal.
I'm talking about pronouns, happens also with articles. Le avion, the plane, becomes l'avion. That is in written and spoken French. See, that's the evolution of the language. So maybe at some point, t'aimes will be accepted in French grammar. Who knows? It evolves, that's all I'm saying. And for example, c'est. That one, I'm sure you've seen it. Well, that's what it is. Une élision. It should be se est. But again, we don't want two vowels following each other, like clashing, because then you have to stop when you say it. Se est. You cannot say je est. Like, it's impossible to understand. Donc, c'est is une élision, an accepted one. And I'm talking about vowels, vowels, vowels. Hein? That élision, in spoken French, it also happens with consonants. So, for example, je veux, I want, we may say it, je veux.
Soit vous m'acceptez comme je suis, soit moi je veux changer de pote.
And with these consonants, that means that je veux, you have two consonants following each other. And sometimes it's okay. Je veux, fine to pronounce. I guess for most of you, it may be difficult depending on what your mother tongue is. But if your mother tongue is English, it should be okay. However, there are consonants, they're really difficult to pronounce together. And that difficulty of pronouncing two consonants together is why sometimes, a lot of times, we actually pronounce the word completely differently than the way it is written. And that's what we will see in that part. And let me tell you, if you want to practice this difficult pronunciation and like way of speaking spoken French or understanding spoken French, again, you don't have to apply what I'm saying, but you need to be able to recognize it. And to do so, you can join French Quest. The doors are actually opening very, very soon at the end of the month. So don't forget to join the waitlist. So you have the special bonuses and all information beforehand. And we'll practice together. I'll provide you with more information, more details, and I'll answer all your questions. All that. Okay, but for now, before French Quest opens again, what do? No worries. I'll tell you. So with the pronoun je, I, je, which is probably the one you will use the most. Okay? Je. So we drop the I, becomes je, J apostrophe, J with an apostrophe. There are a few consonants after, you cannot really keep the sound je. So it needs to change. Let me tell you. So the consonant S, F, K, P, C, et T. These ones require je to change into sh. And I'm pretty sure you're skeptical, right? And see what I did? It's actually easier for you to remember. All the consonants from skeptical, well, they are the ones I'm talking about. So for example, je sais, well, it should become je sais if we drop the E, but je sais, that's difficult. So that combination of J, J, and S becomes sh, she. Let's move up one level. Imagine in a negative sentence. If you've seen my video about negation, you know that we also drop the ne, because ne et pas, the two parts of the negations, they're kind of redundant. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. You can watch the video, it's here. So, je ne sais pas, I don't know. We know that we drop the ne, we drop the I, so je sais pas instead. Because again, je sais pas is difficult, je sais pas. Je ne sais pas, je sais pas. And again, with context, it helps.
Moi, je sais pas ce que c'est la politique de toute façon, mais enfin, tu vois ce que je veux dire.
Another example will be je peux. Je peux. Je peux. See, I actually do it naturally. Je peux is quite difficult. I barely can do it. So it becomes je peux. Je peux. And also works with negation. If you're still watching, that means you're one of my VIPs. So je te souhaite une très bonne année 2025. And if you want to practice all these contractions, like weird sounds, together with me during one of our live calls, you will be able to join French Quest at the end of the month. So it's all in the description, all details. And if you want to discover more ways to actually sound like a French native, more speech patterns and all, I recommend you watch this video next. Donc à la semaine prochaine. Salut!